What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, Druuill, and I'm back at you again with another video. Everybody, do me a favor, smash that like button, smash that share button. Don't forget to subscribe. All right, shout out to all the star seeds, the light beings, chosen vessels. Shout out to the GCVs. We in here. Let's go. Everybody subscribe, hit the like button, share button. Don't forget to show some love in them comments. We about to get busy. Let's go. Stop generalizing your actions. It's killing your productivity, and now you don't even want to try. All right? Stop generalizing your actions. It's killing your productivity, and now you don't even want to try. All right? A generalization is something that you do when you make one or a little minor mistake or a little two mistakes, and now you're constantly calling yourself out on this behavior. All right, you do something wrong, now you're constantly taking it out on yourself, and you're making this your identity. All right, you don't want to overgeneralize, because it's going to make the negative behavior your identity when you're separate from that negative behavior. All right, you may have done something wrong. You may have done something you weren't supposed to do. You may have not done something right. You may have made a mistake. You're not that action. You may have did it, but you're not that action. That action is not who you are. So don't generalize yourself, because it's going to keep you trapped, and it's going to lower your productivity when it comes to life, and it's going to make you not want to try in life. All right, so that's definitely something that you don't want to do, right? I know everybody wants to at least be able to do what they want to do in life. All right, just like Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. All right, so I know you want to be able to try. So stop generalizing. It's okay to make mistakes. All right, it's okay to make mistakes. What's the worst thing you can do by making a mistake? You can learn when you make a mistake. All right, everybody makes mistakes, because nobody is perfect. All right, nobody's perfect, and you don't have to be perfect. So when you're trying to um, fulfill when you're trying to fulfill false standards, like a false standard is I'm perfect. Like you're not going to be perfect when you're doing your thing, or you're not going to be perfect when you're working your gift or you're working your craft. You could do the best you can do, and don't put too much pressure on yourself, because if you make a mistake and you overgeneralize your actions, it's going to kill your productivity. When you are working on something and you put it out and people criticize you, and you don't take the criticism well, now you start to overgeneralize because of what you may have been criticized for. That could lead you to killing your productivity. So when people criticize you, you're going to want to excuse the noise. You're going to want to use that as an opportunity to grow. All right, you're going to want to use that as an opportunity to grow. You're going to want to look at yourself, look at what you can do right, look at what you can improve on, because when people find something wrong, you may get mad at first, but don't look at yourself as what they criticized you for. See yourself separate from the criticism. You're not what they criticized you for. That's just something that you may need to make an improvement or a slight alteration on. All right, so there's nothing wrong with making improvements, because improvements will make you better, and improvements will make you have longevity. Improvements will make you want to try. Improvements will make you improve your inner talk, your self-talk, so that way you'll kill the generalization instead of letting the generalization kill your productivity. Because when you say things that are harmful to what you're trying to do with your life, it's more than just you saying something and you moving past it. What you're doing is you're sowing a negative seed in your mind, and over time that seed has to sprout. So when the negative seeds sprout, when negative thoughts come into your mind, and you don't know where all these thoughts of lack and negative belief and all these thoughts of you can't do it, you don't know where they came from, but you planted those seeds a while ago. And when you go to try to accomplish a goal, or try to take on a task, they will come up, and you will have to correct your thinking so you won't be ruminating those negative thoughts. Because when you plant seeds and they sprout, now you're in the rumination stage. Now you're in a stage where the negative thoughts are just floating around, and that's your thought process. That's what's become of your mind, because you planted those seeds. Now they're sprouting, and now they're starting to bear fruit. All right, so before you spew forth any more negative manifestations, what you want to do is you want to work on your inner self-talk. All right, instead of making generalizations, you want to have positive inner self-talk. Instead of saying that you are the mistake, instead of classifying yourself as a problem you may have had or something you may have done wrong, what you want to do is you want to see yourself separate from the mistake. You want to see yourself as being able to correct yourself, so that way you no longer make that mistake. You want to see yourself as somebody who can speak to themselves in a way to where they're not going to even fear they're going to make that mistake anymore. And you can do that. A lot of times when people don't want to make a mistake, the reason why you keep making that mistake is because you fear. Just like Job said, the behold, the thing I fear has come upon me. If you fear that you're not going to be successful, then that has the potential of manifesting. If you're thinking it, if you're speaking it, telling yourself you're not good enough, telling yourself you'll never make it. We tend to look at these things like, I never tell myself that. But when it comes down to you trying to achieve a goal, when you think about what you can have in your life, that's how you really feel. Whether you tell yourself that or not, if you're not going after it, if you're not achieving it, all right, if you're not believing that you can have something and go after something, then that's something that you're going to have to fix. That's that inner self talk. You're going to have to improve on your inner self talk when it comes to goals, when it comes to seeing yourself being able to have what it is that you want. Because when you want something, if your inner self talk is I can't have that, then that's what you're going to get. You're not going to be able to have it. So you have to see yourself as being able to have what you want, and you have to stop generalizing when you make mistakes, because nobody is perfect and everybody makes mistakes. All right, when people are going towards their path of success, nobody's route is perfect. Nobody's path to success is straight. All right, nobody's path to success is straight. All right, everybody has different paths, different turns they have to take, different things they have to overcome. Everybody has something that they have to beat. Everybody has negative self-talk they have to destroy. Everybody has to turn themselves into something that they no longer wish to be, so that they could achieve their success. So when you're trying to achieve those things, you're going to have to change the way you think, because your old ways of thinking aren't going to be able to lead you down the path you want. You can't have the same negative thoughts and try to create a positive lifestyle. All right, so when you're trying to create a positive lifestyle, you have to eradicate those negative thoughts. And how you're going to eradicate those negative thoughts is by improving your inner self-talk. You're going to have to catch the things that you tell yourself. You're not just saying things to yourself and things just aren't being said to you and floating around in your mind. You have to kill these thoughts. All right, a lot of times when people are when the Bible refers to killings and things like that, it's talking about people killing negative thoughts in their mind. All right, certain aspects in the Bible where it talks about you have to kill off certain things or kill off certain spirits. It's talking about you have to kill off negative thoughts in your mind, so that way you can renew your mind, and that way your mind could be what the Bible would refer to as righteous Abraham. You could be thinking correctly and using your mind correctly. All right. So, in order for you to think correctly and use your mind correctly, you're going to have to feed it the proper thoughts. You're going to have to plant the proper seeds, and it takes work. That's why the Bible says you have to till the land. You constantly have to work on your mind, and you constantly have to take out the bad thoughts and replace them with new thoughts, replace them with good thoughts. That's what it's all about: replacement, replacement, replacement. You have to do thought replacement when it comes to trying to stop making generalizations. So you'll stop killing your productivity. A lot of times, is people will be doing a lot more if they just would say simple things to themselves like, "I can do that. I see myself being able to do that. This is something that I can do." Like if people would just say simple things to themselves like that, they would be able to achieve so much more. But people are so full of doubt. People are so full of self-hate. People are so full of can'ts that they're too worried about why they can't. They're too focused on why they can't. All they see is why they can't. And that's what their thoughts are surrounded by. That's what their inner self-talk is filled with, reasons why they can't. And that's what they're focused on, is so many reasons why they can't, that they can't even see a reason why they can. So in order for you to stop making generalizations, and in order for you to start thinking different, you're going to have to start um, what I would do is I would start writing out your thoughts, write out the negative thoughts, write out your worries, so that way you can see how foolish and how silly they really are. Because the worries and that you're holding on to are low key fears that are holding you back from your success. The worry about the money, the worry about the time, the worry about your age, maybe. If you told yourself you wanted to be successful at a certain time, if you were one of those people and it didn't happen yet, if you have those worries, if you're holding on to things like that, if you're putting a time limit on your success, it's aging you, it's destroying you, it's making you almost, it's making you kind of want to give up, because it's putting a time limit on your success. It's making you think you have to be successful at a certain point. Now you're comparing yourself to other people who have became successful before you, and it's just no good. Don't put any time limits on your success. So, and that's a big generalization. That's basic. That's definitely generalizing when you're putting a time limit on your success, because all the negative things that come along with that, and all the doubt, all the fear, all the worry, if you don't make it by that certain time, that's no good. You don't want to put a time limit on your success, because there's no time limit on becoming successful. I said you don't want to put a time limit on your success. Don't let them put a time limit on your success, because there's no time limit on becoming successful. So don't make generalizations. It's killing you. It's killing your productivity. It's killing your faith. It's killing your wanting to do things, your do ability. All right. You don't want to destroy your believability. That's what I meant to say. You want to be able to believe in yourself, see yourself being able to do something and get things done. And it's easier than you think. You just have to watch how you speak to yourself. Like people will be like, I can't do that. I wouldn't be good at that. And wonder why you don't try. Wonder, like, the people who are successful, who are doing things, you would be surprised at all, like how their mind works, all the positive things they're telling themselves, all the things that they're telling themselves on the everyday basis, all these positive things. They're constantly renewing their mind, constantly rooting out negative beliefs. Like, you can't believe in negatives, or well, you can't have a negative belief about yourself and think that you're going to become successful with that negative belief. You can't believe that you can't have something and then go try to aspire to be anything. It's not going to work. Somewhere along the lines, that I can't is going to manifest, whether it's the test, you think you can't pass the test, whether you have to go do something, you're not going to be able to think you could do it, whether you got to go record a record, you're not going to think you can record the record, you're going to forget the words, your vocals won't work right. You have to talk to yourself. Your mind is very powerful, and when it doesn't believe it can't do something, you're not going to be able to do something. All right, that there's a connection between you and your mind. All right, it sounds it's very simple. All right, very common sense stuff, everybody knows this, but we look over these things. All right, these are, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. This is things you don't. These are things that you already knew. It's just if you would practice it and put a little bit more faith into it and realize how powerful it is when you just say something small and easy to yourself, like I can do it. It's game over. You're going to be able to start doing a lot more than you ever thought possible. Everybody say that right now. I see myself doing a lot more than I ever thought possible. I see myself doing a lot more than I ever thought possible. But it all starts with your inner self talk, how you talk to yourself. All right. It all comes down to you treating you, you being good to you using your mind to benefit you and your time. All right. If you talk bad to yourself, you're not going to produce good. You're not going to do good for you. All right. You are your own boss, and in every sense of the word. All right. When a boss talks to his or her employees negatively, how have you ever felt when a boss has mistreated you? All right, spiritually, you won't get things done and you won't do anything and won't be able to make anything happen for you if you treat yourself the way a boss would treat an employee, if that boss isn't treating that employee how that employee is supposed to be treated. Like, you are your own boss, you are your own employee. Treat yourself how you would want a boss to treat you. All right. However, you would want your ideal, perfect idea of a boss, whoever you'd work for. See the perfect boss. See yourself as that perfect boss. All right. With the sorry y'all. See yourself as that perfect boss with the nice car. All right, with the nice car, with the nice house, with the nice home, with the title. All right, see your office how you would want it. It may even be an at home office. I was going in. I apologize, y'all. It may even be an at home office. All right. Um, and see yourself being as wealthy as you want to be, as kind as you want to be, as great as you want to be. See yourself styled, dress however you'd want to be. See yourself as the perfect boss. You're that person, you're that lady, you're that guy, you're that woman, you're that man. All right. And see yourself treating yourself how you'd want to be treated if you worked under you. How would you want to be treated if you worked under you? How would you want to be treated? Would you want somebody to treat you bad, to make where you feel like you wouldn't want to come back to work? I know y'all feel that. I know y'all been watching my other videos. All right, you know how people treat you bad, and then depression might kick in, and then you may not want to come back to work that day because you don't want to have to work around the toxicity. All right, you can't you can't leave you. So imagine how you feel when you really talk bad to yourself. You can't leave you. You can't leave you. So when you say bad things to yourself, when you're hard on yourself, when you tell yourself you can't do things, I could never have that. All right, you have to watch how you speak to yourself. Inner self talk is everything when it comes to who you are and shaping your reality, shaping your self identity. All right, a lot of people don't believe in themselves because they don't have the right identity. They tell themselves they can't have things and wonder why they don't have what they want in their life. Everybody that doesn't have what they want in their life, they're telling themselves subconsciously and psychologically that they can't have it. They're telling themselves that they're not worthy of it, that they don't deserve it. When you feel you can't have something, or you're not worthy of it, or you don't deserve it, you're not going to be able to attract it. So generalizing and inner self-talk, all these things play a part in manifestation. You have to clean yourself up. All right, and you have to prepare yourself to manifest. You have to work on you. You have to make sure that your thoughts are all in alignment. Your feelings are all in alignment. Excuse the tongue twister. And once you start to feel in alignment with what you want, and you start to think your thoughts are all in alignment with what you want, you believe it, you don't fear it. All right, you don't feel that you lack anything. You don't feel that yours is gonna run out because somebody else is getting theirs. All these things you're working on. You're constantly working on yourself and removing all the I can'ts and all the negative energy, and you're working on your self-belief. You're working on getting rid of a lack mindset. You're seeing yourself having the life you want, believing it, All right, visualizing it. You're doing everything that you could possibly do to attract yourself to this goal, and it all starts with how you talk to yourself. All right, you have to speak well of yourself. You have to speak wellly to yourself, because if you don't treat yourself like you're your own best friend, then you're not going to be able to perform how you would want yourself to perform. What you're trying to get out of yourself is there. Everything that you want, you already have. What the person that you want to be is already there. It's already in you. You just have to talk to that person. You have to water that person. You have to grow that person. The person's already there. You got to cultivate that person and believe in that person. All right, if you're not believing in that person, you're not strengthening that person. The spirit of that person is going to be weak. All right, the person you want to be is going to be weak. That person that you want to be is not going to be able to manifest. It's not going to be able to come into reality. So that's why you have to work on yourself and constantly build yourself up so you can become the person that you want to be. Otherwise, you're tearing that person down. All right, don't tear the person down that you're trying to be. Build that person up. Tell that person that that person is great. Tell that person that that person can have what they want. Tell that person that that person can achieve their dreams and goals and aspirations, because anything else is a lie. So when you want things out of life, and when you want to make changes in your life, and when you want to get out of depression, when you want to elevate your mindset, when you want to improve your wealth, improve your finances, you're going to have to improve that self-talk. You can't improve your finances if you're telling yourself negative things about money. If you have a negative mindset or a negative belief about money, it's all about your inner self-talk. You're going to have to work on your belief. Whatever your belief is, that's what your life is going to be. All right, whatever you're telling yourself, whatever you're thinking about yourself, whatever you're believing about yourself, that's what you're going to have. You're not going to have anything different. And once you start to speak different and think different, you will start to see little facets of your life begin to change. And you'll realize that you may have been programmed incorrectly, may have been programming yourself incorrectly. But the thing is, you can change. It's like your brain is like, it takes in the data that you put into it. So you have to watch the data that you're putting in your mind, because that's what you're downloading. That's what you're programming your mind with. Whatever data you put into it, whether it be positive or negative. People will talk to themselves harshly. I've done it. I've talked to myself harshly, told myself all types of negative things when it comes to what I want to be, because something doesn't go right. Making generalizations. You do one thing wrong and you get so mad that you go so hard on yourself, and you tell yourself some of the worst things you could possibly ever say to yourself. All right, and that's what we have to stop. You can't tell yourself the worst possible thing and then try to expect the most possible greatest outcome. Yourself's not going to want to do it. Yourself is not going to want to show up for work. Yourself is not going to want to get out of the bed in the morning when you tell yourself things like, you can never have that. You're not good enough. You're not worthy of that. You have to speak positively to, excuse the noise. You have to speak positively to yourself when you want a positive outcome, when you want a positive life. All right, whatever you want, start speaking it. Whatever you want for yourself, start thinking you can have it. Start thinking that it's yours. Start feeling the reality of it. When you feel that when you feel better, and when you feel that your fears aren't taking over your life anymore, you're going to be able to start to begin to live. Because once you get rid of your fears, once you stop holding on to your fears, once you stop holding on to all the negative ideas and all the negative mindsets, you're going to start to your mind's going to open up, and you're going to start to see a whole new reality for you. No matter where you are, you're going to be able to start to think big and see what you want for yourself crystal clear. And you're going to be able to see your goals set clear. You're going to be able to set clear goals for yourself, and you're going to be able to clearly pinpoint what you want, all because you worked on your mind. You wrote, figured out what your worries were, figured out what your fears were. That's why I said write down your worries, write down what you're worried about, because your worries are low-key fears, and those are magnets for failure. All right, so once you get rid of those fears, once you stop worrying, then you can start to have courage, then you can start to have confidence, and that will attract what you want, because you won't see what you want as something that you can't have. When you think about what you want, you'll constantly go over in your mind, I can have that, I can have that. All right, that's what you want to replace the fear of not being able to become successful with. All you have to do is, like I said, it's all about thought replacement. So once you figure out what you want to achieve, once you figure out what your worries are, write all your worries down, figure out what your worries are, and then you'll start to see that they hold no weight, they hold no truth. Then after that, figure out what you want to achieve, and then set a time, set a date, and then start to prioritize your goals and go from there. All right, and take a small step towards each goal every day. And take a small step towards each goal every day to keep procrastination away. So as we all know, this video has now come to a close. I want to thank every chosen vessel. I want to thank everybody for watching the video. The chosen vessels, the star seeds, the light beings, the divine ones. Appreciate you guys coming through. Everybody, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and show some love in the comments. I'll see all you amazing people in the next video. Shout out to the GCVs. We out. Druuill out.